doors. That verdict was decided in less than 3 hours today, with the jury siding in favor of the Hodo in the civil case involving Darren. In 2017, when the three men got in a fight outside the Hodo and Darren Patterson threw a punch that killed Jamie Grant and seriously injured Sang. Sang, along with Grant's widow, sued the bar, saying they should have seen the fight coming and prevented it from happening. All three of the parties declined to make a comment following today's verdict. New information this afternoon on a death investigation we've been following for you out of Fergus Falls. Charges against 56-year-old Reggie Bethel have now been upgraded to murder. Court documents say this happened on July 29th in Fergus Falls, record and slamming his head against a wall. Bethel is now charged with second-degree murder, first-degree manslaughter, and second-degree manslaughter.
Stacy, thanks so much, and hello everyone. It's been a pretty quiet day. FM area, a couple clouds drifting over the Devil's Lake Basin right now. Here is a look at those rainfall measurements that fell in buckets. Thief River Falls picking up 8/100, so not a lot, but in between those radar sites we may have had a little bit more. These showers passed through. The heaviest were up north, and we did have a band form out over Lakes Country just off to the east of the FM area that had bad, and most of us did stay pretty dry. Sizzling hot south along Interstate 94 and Point South, 75 up in the Hallock area right now, falling off into the 70s. Cool, comfortable, and the wind quieting down as well. How about Grand Forks, you say? Well, here's a look. Temperatures in those 60s is ahead. Oh, and by the way, I'll have hour-by-hour details on a dry stretch of weather and some heat returning in the forecast here. I'll have all of that coming up in just a few moments.
All right. Thanks so much, Hutch. The pilot of Omaha. Investigators are still trying to figure out why the plane crashed. Legs were severely injured. Officials named the pilot that died in a plane crash earlier this week in Emmons County as 63-year-old Michael Gunia of Linton, North Dakota. He died Tuesday morning after officials say all employees, volunteers, vendors, and contractors. Bethany says completed by October 15th. That goes for contractors and vendors as we are required to have the vaccine. All True in Grand Forks. Today's news impacts all new and current All True employees, including All True says employees can request an exemption for medical, religious tonight on Valley News Live at 6. Minnesota state employees will be required to prove they've been vaccinated against the virus or agree to undergo weekly testing before they can return to the office. Governor Tim Walz ordered that state agency employees who work in person must show their proof of vaccination by September 8th. Employees who haven't been vaccinated by then will be required to test negative at least once a week. President Biden held a closed-door meeting with business, university, and healthcare leaders today to discuss strategies to get more Americans vaccinated. At the same time, could become super spreaders. Skylar Henry reports from Capitol Hill.
Across the country,
have any of you ever mandated masks for the season?
Becoming the first state to mandate vaccines or regular testing for
open.
The Delta variant is driving up COVID cases in Oregon as well, leading Governor Kate Brown to reissue a statewide mask mandate.
Every time someone wears a mask, that's one more unvaccinated kid we're protecting.
In defiance of the governor, Florida's second largest school district voted Tuesday to require masks for students and teachers.
With a little more than half of it, continues to explore ways to encourage all of those eligible to get the shot.
From Kaiser Permanente, Howard University, and United Airlines.
This is what is working for these industries.
Vaccine hesitancy continues in the South.
What we know is isolation and alienation are isolated.
The CDC has now updated its vaccine recommendation. Capitol Hill.
On Friday, a panel of outside experts at the CDC will meet to discuss a third booster shot for some Americans. Their employees, Delta, American, and Southwest, won't be implementing a covering every employee to get vaccinated. Delta says 75% of its work encouraging it, and American says they're offering people an extra vacation day. In Grafton, North Dakota, have quite the cleanup ahead of them after a train jumped. The train is blocked, and it's expected to remain closed for the rest of the week. No word yet on how this happened. New York impeachment proceedings on multiple cases of alleged wrongdoing. The three-term Democrat faced growing pressure to quit after a bombshell report detailing sexual harassment allegations from 11 women. Cuomo announced his resignation one day after Jerrica Duncan's exclusive.
The way I can help now is if I step aside.
If he ever made anyone uncomfortable, but continuing to deny the sexual harassment allegations.
In my mind, But I didn't realize the extent to which the line has been reached.
The General's office released a scathing report documenting sexual on his protective detail. For the first time, he addressed her out.
I touched her back, and when I was walking past her in a doorway, I touched her stomach. She said I did it. I believe her.
Among the most serious, executive assistant number 1, Brittany Commisso. She spoke exclusively
over my bra.
Commisso told us Cuomo also gave her intimate.
There was a time when between my personal life and this, it was too much. People don't understand.
Lindsey Boylan, one of his accusers, reacted to Cuomo's resignation by abusive behavior. She thanked those who have pursued the truth. An attorney for accuser Charlotte Bennett said the governor's decision to resign is, quote, not the end of our reckoning with sexual harassment, but it is an important step in the right direction. While the embattled governor allegations, his personal attorney, Rita Glavin.
This hasn't been, and in fact, the governor has been given no process.
Commisso said after the governor's resignation, she was speechless and found his attorney's presser offensive. The governor's legal battle might not be over. Freezer, you'll want to stick around. They're under a major recall.